What's up? What's up? What's up? It's me, Brianca Jay, and I am so excited to be here today giving you a review. Look at me, I'm so ghetto. Starbucks getting all that free promo. No, but I'm so excited to be back giving you guys a review. I know it's been a minute, almost like 2 weeks, which is really crazy, but it just goes to show like how tired and busy I've been with work, with just COVID. Like, this pandemic is wearing on me, and I know it's probably wearing on you too. So if you're going through it and you're trying to get through your semester, or you're trying to get through your day or your week or your month or whatever it is you're just trying to get to, just keep putting one foot in front of the other. I swear to God, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. I'm with you, I'm rooting for you, and I know you can do this. Promised. With that said, I just want to invite you guys, as we watch this video, to show me your appreciation in any of these 3 ways. You can like the video, you can comment on the video, or you can absolutely go ahead and subscribe so you can see more of me on a regular basis. Like, this is what helps any YouTuber grow. Like, it costs nothing, but it allows them to get a bigger fan base, get more subscribers, and then they can eventually get a little change from just you liking a video. So it really don't cost you nothing, don't cost me nothing, but we going up the same. So I appreciate you guys for doing that. My other order of business is we about 8 days away from my first children's book release, and I am so excited, a little confused, still waiting on a lot of details, but excited nevertheless. I ain't gonna tell you. I'm gonna start releasing videos actually to talk about the writing process, about the illustration process, about the publishing process. So if you guys want to know more about that, go ahead and subscribe, because I'm going to really drop the tea for any aspiring writers, any new writers, any illustrators. If you're trying to get into this industry and you're trying to make them good decisions, you can follow along with my journey and learn from my mistakes as well as my best advice. But November 28th is the virtual launch party, from what I understand, and we're going to go from there. Without further ado, let's talk about what we came for, which is a book review of The Vanishing Half by Brit Bennett. First of all, can we get into this beautiful cover? The cover is absolutely gorgeous. I love her use of colors to intersect. I like the abstractness of the 2 women. You can't really see, but so now you can. Look, so now you can. It's 2 women here, right? And I just think that's really pretty. That was a very wonderful design. So shout out to whoever designed her cover. That's lit. I like it. It was picked up by Good Morning America as a book club pick. And I'm just going to give you like a quick plot overview before we get into the actual work. So it's pretty much the Vignette sisters. And they're identical twins, and they grow up in this little town called Mallard outside of Opelousas, Louisiana. And in this town, everybody's very fair-skinned, almost passing for white. And so this town is struck with colorism, but also very small, not a lot of opportunities. So these 2 girls have the idea to move away and start their life anew. So it's Stella and Desiree. So Desiree moves, Stella moves, they move together, and then eventually Stella leaves, and she just leaves a note and doesn't say anything and begins her new life as a white woman, while Desiree continues her life as a black woman and picks the blackest of black men to have a child with. And when she returns home, she's raising her daughter, but she's still on the search to find her sister, who is now passing for white. So that's pretty much the plot and the conflict of the novel. Looking for Stella Vignette, who is passing for white and pretty much does not want to be found, as well as Desiree trying to restart her life after an abusive marriage, and her daughter trying to have self-esteem. Pretty much the basic premise of the work. So let's get into the nitty-gritty. You want to know if you should buy this. I feel you. I be wanting to know that too. So overall, I want to talk about how it made me feel emotionally. And it's interesting because I'm a Creole woman. I never claimed that. That's funny. My mom would probably smile right now, but we have Creole roots, which means that we have a mixture of French, Spanish, and Black, and Indian probably in our bloodline. We are from Louisiana, and I understand a lot about what colorism looks like within the family, right? And I actually have family like right outside of Opelousas, which is like Church Point. I have people I know in Opelousas as well as Lafayette. Like, I understand Louisiana politics, colorism, politics. So maybe that's why I wasn't struck the same way, because I know what it's like to be the dark child, okay? But so overall, ambivalence really came over me. I'm like, okay. And I just didn't have the same emotional pull as I wish I would have had. But I did understand. Like, I could understand. It's just that I really didn't have a lot of empathy. Like, oh, like one of the kids was like, oh, I'm always been the darkest girl in the school, and they treated me this way. And I guess that can have a psychological effect on you. But I guess I've always been the type to, like, I'm not going to let nobody hurt my feelings. I'm not going to allow your opinion of me to affect me. Like, that's your opinion. You got to keep it. Like, you got to, I hope it keep you up at night. I hope it keep you up at night. I hope it darken your spirit. I hope it make you sick. I hope it make you vomit, because I'm not going to accept any of it. Your distaste for me will always live with you. Guaranteed. That's just how I feel, and that's just how I expect everybody to feel. So overall, in the book, I couldn't relate to this chase of like looking for this sister for years. I couldn't relate to this like this feeling of low self-esteem based off of other people's perception of me. Nor could I relate to the battered woman thing. Like, I felt, and then I didn't really feel like I was emotionally pulled in. Like, I didn't feel like she gave me enough insight on those feelings. Like, she explicitly stated those feelings, but like sometimes explicit, it's like the old adage for writers, like, show me versus tell me. She didn't really show me. Like, I didn't really feel emotionally connected in that way to the plot. So overall, I would say I felt really ambivalent. The story itself was told in third person, and it kind of swung from big picture to small picture, looking specifically at certain characters. So it was some portions where we took a deep dive look at Stella, deep dive look at Desiree. We looked deeply at Early, which is like one of the other characters, and June, which is one of the daughters. So it kind of pulls you in and gives you a zoomed in version, and then pans out and gives you a big picture version. And overall, that's not a bad way to tell the story. Like, I didn't mind the way the story was told. I didn't mind flipping back and forth through history to get those deeper insights. I really thought that she's a really good writer. Her organization for the work kept me very, I didn't feel confused at all. Like, it flowed very smoothly. It was very structurally aligned, and I could appreciate that. And I liked it. I liked the structure for sure. The main characters, which I would have to say it's probably June, Desiree, somewhat Early, and overall, meh, right? I don't think I really felt connected with these characters. It's weird because it took me a long time to read this book, but Desiree and Early's relationship was boring at best, in my opinion. And then June, with her like lack of self-esteem and desire to be loved and how she went about things, it didn't, you know what, to be honest, June's relationship with her boyfriend was not believable. Someone with that much self-esteem issues, someone with that little who understood love so little, who didn't have someone who lacked self-worth to that degree would not find love so easy to come by, because she doesn't love herself. So her relationship in itself was just like unbelievable. I was like, girl, I don't really feel connected to this storyline. Desiree's battered woman situation and her relationship with Early, again, unbelievable. Not that they couldn't happen, it's just that I didn't feel like an emotional connection, and I didn't believe it was happening. The parts of the book that stood out the most to me for me, the most impactful parts of the book was easily when we finally saw Stella, which is closer to the end of the work. And that's the sister that's passing. And she starts to explain why she's passed and why she can't come home. And we have a better insight on her thoughts about being an American and social progression. And I thought that was the most impactful part of this story. It's a deeper insight into passing. And I say that because a lot of people, especially older generations of black people, get very upset about their family members or the people they know who have passed for white. They feel a betrayal in that way. And so I've always heard the story of the betrayal. And I love when I hear it from the other side of the tracks, when the passing person finally explains themselves. And it's always deeper than just, I want to be white. It's almost never, I wanted to be white. That's not why they do it. And so I appreciated that part of the story the best. In the book, the themes that stand out are your typical themes of loneliness, of social progression, of unacceptance, right? So the typical themes, love is there, family is there, duty, honor, all those themes are there and present in the work. And I mean, none of them are completely strange to any reader. So yeah. In the end of the work, it was realistic, but it wasn't impactful. So basically, the ending was like, okay. It's like, okay. The book was like, okay. Really, to be honest. The book in itself was like, okay. Like, I liked the idea. And I really thought it was going to be much more for me to treasure here. And it just lacked in that regard. Like, I just didn't feel like I had a lot to treasure in the work that I thought I would be able to treasure. But overall, I'm not upset about that. And then my impression of the author, which is not that important, is it? Actually, what is my impression of the author? I don't really know much about her. This is the first book I've read by her. I think her last book, called The Mothers, became a best-selling novel. So, I mean, in that regard, okay. But her storytelling ability, I would like a deeper, deeper insight onto her characters, as well as the ideas she's bringing forward. Yeah, but overall, this is a great book if you really want to kind of test your waters for African American fiction or even historical fiction of a time period. This is a great starter book. But if you're more of a heavy reader, if you like historical fictions, if you like classic literature, you may find that this book lacks the depth that you're looking for. And for me, that's what happened. So I will give this book maybe 2 out of 5. I was bored, guys. It took me a long time to read it. It took me a long time to get into. I never really got into the plot. I kind of endured. That's why I'm giving it a 2. But nothing's bad about it. It just didn't wow me. It just didn't wow me. So maybe I'm judging harshly. Maybe that's a 3. I don't know. It just didn't wow me. It just didn't make me want to read it again. It doesn't make me want to tell a friend. It doesn't make me want to call home. It didn't make me think differently about anything. Like, I like when I walk away from a book feeling changed, feeling smarter, or, feeling like, whoa. And I know a book is good when I'm gushing about it to someone who hasn't read it. And none of that happened for me here. But you check it out. You tell me if you like it, if you love it, and then leave a comment, leave a like, leave a subscription. I appreciate all those things. It means the world to me. We are so close to my goal. Not really, but kind of, about 20% of the way there. And so I'm looking to just keep growing with you guys, keep coming, keep giving you these good reviews. And so if you have something for me to read, I would love to hear it. My next review will probably be over hood feminism and then War and Peace, because I'm reading that now. So yeah, if you have something else you think I should be looking into, let me know. Drop me a comment. I love to hear from you guys. Peace out.